Greg, make an assessment of your team 3 games in the past 7 days. How do you think that they did?
I thought from a performance standpoint we did okay. I thought from a point standpoint I think we probably should have taken a couple more at least out of the week. But yeah, I mean that was it. I thought we left some opportunities on the table to score goals. Made some mistakes for sure in the New York game that we didn't want to make. But you know, I thought overall we played well. I thought we dictated and controlled the majority of the games, but and had lots of opportunities, but didn't put them away. And especially in the first game and the last game of the 3, you know, if we get the first goal, then maybe the game has a little bit different look and things open up for us. But it's important that we score goals to try to open teams up and bring them out of their defensive posture. But all in all, I was happy with the performance. I feel like we're continuing to progress as a team. Just needed to finish off with some chances.
Greg, you knew that this day was going to come with the Gold Cup. You'd be missing significant players. So I'm presuming you guys had a plan for this. But does that plan change as the season wore on, or are you sort of going to the resources that you thought you'd have to go to?
I think for the most part we're going to the resources that we thought we would, or the guys even that we brought in that we thought would fill some holes for us. But with other guys also playing well, Ash's back in the mix because he's had a great season. You know, initially maybe it was a question mark because he hadn't been in the team for so long, but his guys perform well, they get more opportunities, and we have to adjust accordingly. So we will. But the good thing is that we've had a fair number of players get some reasonable minutes this year. We've had some young guys come along and have good performances. So all things being told, some guys will definitely get a chance, as that's what happens when 4 guys starters are missing. But I expect that they'll be able to step in and fill the role and do what they do, not have to do what the other guys did, but do what they do within the structure of the team, and I think we should be okay.
Are you able just to slot people in? Obviously, you know, Michael and Jose are special talents, but will you slot people in to do into their roles, or will you have to change things somewhat, formation?
We won't look to change too much. I think the team has a pretty good sense of what the identity is. Everybody has a good sense of what their roles are within, again, the structure of the team. And to try to reinvent things or do anything too terribly different would be maybe confusing for the group. So for us, it's playing with the players we have and playing to the strengths of the guys that we'll have on the field, but not getting too far away from what we've been capable of doing and how we've been progressing as a team over the last several months.
Forgive me, I've been away for a while, but can you talk about some of the options you have? Presumably Justin would revert back to left fullback?
Yeah, Justin could go to left fullback. Danny Lovitz, who has played a little bit for us, could play left fullback as an option, or at least provide us cover. Warren, who's played some at right fullback, could be there. Justin could play on the right, Danny on the left. Nick Hagelin, who maybe with some repetitions over the course of the week could play right back. I know we threw him in Dallas, but he really didn't have any repetitions, and he was against what I would say is one of the sharpest wingers in the league this year. But so he's an option there. Obviously Markey's come along and Jay Chapman's come along, and we have Jackson, who didn't start in the last few games. So we have options, Robbie Fenley and Luke and the guys that are possible in terms of the forward position. So I think we have good depth. I think we have good experience, and we also have some good youth in the group that really are deserving of an opportunity at this point anyway.
I know you're thinking about your team, but do you look around the league? Do you think that your team is among those hit hardest by these international departures?
Definitely. It's to lose 2 designated players, then to lose 2 other starters who have played significant minutes on the season is, I would say, it's amongst the most devastating of any of the teams in the league. But you know, at the same time, like you said, we knew that this was coming when we brought Josie in, and we knew with Michael that this would be an opportunity, be coming as well. And also knowing that he's been playing well, that he's always been in the mix, and Ash is a pleasant. He deserves it. So so we wish them well, and we're glad that they got that opportunity, and we'll adjust as a team and come out competing.
Just looking ahead to LA, can you just give an injury update? I didn't see Benoit out there. I'm so guessing he's still out.
He was out today, but he's progressing. He's looking good. Steven is still progressing. He probably won't be ready for the weekend, but he's definitely getting closer to integrating back into the team on a regular basis. Chris Konopka was inside today, but it was more just of a it's not even a precautionary thing. It was just he needed an extra day to recover from the 3 games. He had a little bit of a turn of an ankle in one of the plays, but he's really fine. It was just an extra day. Damien and Seba were both in doing an extra day. We do a lot of certain stuff with them where they do work inside within the gym and the pool and all that kind of stuff, and so that for them it's nothing more than just part of the progression that they do naturally in the week.
Is Benoit a possibility for Saturday?
Yeah, he's a possibility.
Okay.
Yep.
What kind of proposition does LA sort of offer you guys, do you think, when we can?
Well, I think they're, I mean, obviously they're a very good team at home. They've dismantled a couple teams over the last few weeks at home especially. They've had some struggles on the road, but we're going there. I think it's a big field. They do a good job of spreading you out. They have a lot of experience on the field within their midfield and across their back line. Adding Robbie Keane in there is always a special player who can unlock defenses and obviously do special things. So I mean, I think they're a team who especially at home knows very much who they are and how they go about getting results. You know, for us, it'll be to go in there and continue to try to progress and do the things that we do well and try not to be on the back foot, try to get a hold of the ball a little bit and force them to have to defend. Be aware of Robbie in transition moments because he's very clever about pulling off the back shoulders of center backs or of defenders. But for us, it's to go in and really compete. I think it's an opportunity. Again, we've done well on the road, and I don't think this should be any different. We should go in ready to compete and give them our best shot.
What sort of influence did Bruce Arena have on your career personally, and do you relish in the challenge of going up against him as a coach?
Yeah, Bruce is he's an outstanding manager. I think the way he handled players in my time and just the communication and overall his managing of the group was always very good. Obviously his teams defend very well. And they have good attacking team, and they're a good attacking team, and they have interesting players that do things. So in all ways, he's a good coach. I think it's always to go in and have to play his team is always a good measure for us as a team, and it's not about Bruce and me. It's more about our 2 teams and trying to pick up 3 points and but always going and seeing those guys and going back to LA and it's always a good competition. So you know you're going to get that from Bruce's teams always.
And among the players who played all 3 games last week, how are they feeling in terms of freshness and fatigue, and how do you manage that heading into another long road trip?
Sure. We had 3 guys out today that played in the vast majority of the minutes or all of the minutes last week, and for them we gauge on sort of how they feel. But we also have with the travel day, we won't do a whole lot when we get into LA, so we'll make sure between the next 2 days we want to give them a little bit of work, but we'll obviously bring that down on Thursday and Friday and allow them to recover. But we have multiple days to prepare for this match, so we're obviously taking consideration how those guys are recovering physically. But I think they're feeling good. I know Colin especially is had some heavy legs. He put in some great work last week, and so for us we'll just manage him a little bit over the course of the week, but he's feeling good.
You have a new academy, head of your academy. I know
Yes.
that's an interest of yours.
Yes.
Did your paths cross with his in France?
We have a mutual friend who is a very good friend of mine. His name is Jocelyn Grovanek, who has actually turned out to be an outstanding coach in the French First Division. He was at Guingamp this year and has had a lot of success. And Jocelyn and I were good friends in Bastia when I was there, and Laurent and Jocelyn are very close friends. And so through our relationship there and through the French Federation's coaching course, got to spend a lot of time with Laurent and see him work as both an educator and also see and get to know him as a coach. He's also a very good person, very open-minded, very willing and capable of listening to everybody's opinion and taking in and providing sort of good leadership in that way. He comes in with very similar ideas to what we're doing, and it's just he's another addition to and another layer to everything that's been started here over the last couple of years, and even from just some of the coaching education side, he'll be a great add to our guys, another resource for them to bounce things off of. He's obviously worked with players who've played at a very high level and helped develop players who've reached a high level, and so I think all things considered, he's a great add to our team here, and he'll be a very good resource, I think, just for the larger community as well as we start to branch out in some of the coaching education stuff.
There's quite a French flair to this club now. Do you feel that with his contacts you may help you recruit?
We will definitely use him as a resource of that. He's obviously he's been in that environment. He knows the players both on a professional level and also on a personal level, which we find to be important in their transition over here. So he'll be a resource. I don't know if that means we're going to be moving more heavily into France or anything like that. We're trying to find players who fit what we're trying to do from a on the field standpoint and off the field standpoint, regardless of where they come from. But obviously having more intimate knowledge of a country, for example, also helps. It always helps.
And if I can just ask one more question. While I was away, I understand in the New York game, Javinko got pretty rough treatment. We had seen signs of that earlier on. Yeah. Is there anything that you can do in terms, speak to the league or to try and voice your concern about the treatment he's got in some cases?
Yeah, over the course of the game, I have a lot of conversations with the fourth official, if you call them conversations. But then we go back and we watch video and we look at it again, and if we see incidents, we always will send them in and ask them to take a closer look or to be aware of these things. You know, the one thing that I think is coming up now a little bit that we just are asking the league to look at is things that are slightly away from the ball, maybe not exactly on the ball or when he's touching the ball, but maybe in a moment of transition or when he's not exactly involved in the immediate action, and just keep an eye on those things. I mean, I don't think all teams are going to be deliberate in that way. I think it's a moment here or there. Maybe a center back who feels like he got caught on the wrong side of a quick action or a move, and they get it gets a piece of him or something. But at the end, we want, no matter whether it's Sebastian or any player in the league, we want those players to feel like they have the freedom to express themselves as attacking players. That's what people come to watch, is good attacking soccer. So we like I said, we will approach the league with, whether it's video incidents or things like that, to try to continue to make our case that to keep an eye on these situations. That's it.
Is Bright DK's back full time now?
Bright is back. He's obviously not available until July 8th, even for consideration, just because of the transfer window. But he is back.
Was he recalled, or was it the loan was just done?
The loan was coming to an end, and so he was back.
How closely did you follow him down in San Antonio, and what did you make of what he did in Texas?
I followed him pretty closely. I mean, he was in and out sporadically in terms of his playing time down there. I know the team shifted from when he went down there from playing with two forwards to then changing and going to one forward, and he was sharing time, if you will, with Omar Cummings, who is obviously a very good player and has done a lot in this league. So I think Bright was sort of in and out, getting some minutes here and there. But all things considered, we'll check his form when he gets here and he gets back into training and see if he provides us with any solution.
And sorry, he's not available for selection until
July 8th.
And why is that?
Just because when we loan him out, the transfer window doesn't open up again until July 8th, so he would fit into that category.